Should you apply for Social Security disability? The answer to that question really depends on whether or not you're working or not working. If you're not working, then yes, you should absolutely apply for Social Security disability if you have a medical condition that's going to prevent you from working for at least one full calendar year. There really are no downsides to applying. You can apply online. It's very easy. There's no upfront costs associated with applying for Social Security disability. If you want to hire a lawyer for your Social Security disability case, your lawyer will get paid out of the back benefits that you're due if your case is won. If you decide that you no longer want to pursue your claim and you want to drop it in the middle of the process, you wouldn't owe your lawyer anything for doing that. So long as you're not able to work due to a medical condition, there really are no downsides to just getting a disability application filed for yourself. If you don't apply for Social Security disability, or you take a lot of time deciding whether or not you want to apply, there are disadvantages and drawbacks to that. So for SSDI, which is the more favorable of the two programs for disability between SSDI and SSI, the program that pays more has deadlines associated with it. You have to qualify for it before a certain date in order to get the higher amount for disability benefits. Usually, if you have a strong work history, you'll have 5 years within which to apply for and get disability benefits. However, it can take up to 2 years for a claim to go from the application to the hearing level. So if you get denied the first time at the hearing level, you've already used one of your bites at the apple, assuming you have the full 5 years. If you are currently employed in considering applying for disability because your medical conditions are making it harder and harder to do your job, that is a much harder situation to be in to determine whether or not you should apply for disability. Some questions come to mind. The primary one you're going to need to answer is, how are you going to support yourself? Usually it takes about 1.5 to 2 years for a disability claim to go from start to finish. How will you support yourself while your claim is pending? Are your doctors going to be willing to support your Social Security disability claim? You're going to want to take a statement to your doctor and have them complete a form for you that talks about what your limitations are. They're called either a physical functional capacity form or a mental functional capacity form. If you don't have a copy of these documents, you can search for them on the internet. I also have copies of them available on my website, bradthomasdisability.com. Just download my guide to disability and I attach them to the back of it. Another question you're going to want to answer is, are you going to be able to continue affording medical care while your disability claim's pending? Disability claims are mostly decided on the contents of your medical records. So if you're no longer going to be able to get medical care because you quit your job to apply for disability, then that can be a problem for you if you're no longer able to get medical treatment. Another thing that you should be able to consider is, how will continuing to work negatively, or will it negatively affect your health? If you have a hard job that requires lift a lot or be on your feet a lot, will this cause your physical condition to continue to deteriorate? Before you quit your job, you should probably talk to a lawyer regarding what your chances are to get disability benefits. If you have a poor chance of getting disability, either due to your age or to the severity of your symptoms, you're going to want to know that up front before you quit work, so that you don't waste 2 years of your life to get to the end of a process where you never really had a shot to begin with. You should consider, prior to quitting, if you're wanting to apply for disability, is if you're on the cusp of getting fired. Getting fired from a job from a storytelling standpoint is more compelling to a disability judge than just quitting a job because your conditions got severe. So if you think you might get fired from your job, you might just wait for that to happen instead of quitting. And finally, before you quit, you should consider whether or not you're going to be able to live off of your monthly disability benefits if your case does get granted. Disability pays some, it doesn't pay a whole lot. If you live by yourself or if you have high overhead expenses, you should certainly call the SSA, find out what your monthly benefit would be, and know that going into the process so you don't get yourself in a bind after you quit your job. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below.